Hello there. Keir Starmer is outdoing the headless chicken impression as the Nigel Farage Reform UK machine grinds both Labour and the Tories into the ground. It's now really dawning on Keir Starmer that the other cheek of the uniparty tailpipe, the Tories, are no longer his direct opposition. He realises he now has a deadly enemy in the form of Nigel Farage and Reform UK. Now, love him or loathe him, you have to admit that Farage has got both Labour and the Tories in a right old tailspin. So the Prime Minister is heading north to try and recapture ground lost to Reform UK within the traditional red wall seats. But he's got a hell of a lot of ground to make up given recent polling. And it seems the Labour leader is desperate to try and trash Nigel Farage's latest policy speech, where he set about making the welfare state his new battleground and promising family-friendly policies. The fact that Starmer feels the need to staunch the hemorrhage of support away from his party 4 years out from the next general election tells us that his premiership is on the line, right now. He cannot wait for a year or two to see if his policies work. He needs the massive oil tanker that is public opinion turned 180 degrees about now. Or the Labour annual conference at the end of September could be very interesting. Made all the worse by his party's sudden loss of their usual sectarian vote. Something he will be hoping to reverse when the new blasphemy laws come in. All while his deputy Angela Rayner sniffs an opportunity and goes out on political manoeuvres. But worse for the uniparty blob, Farage talked about making it easier for people to have children. The uniparty blob does not like British children, and before you even start to question that, remember how hard they've laboured to keep the lid on the groomers and what they've done over decades in this country, almost totally unchallenged by mainstream politicians and press, as well as the police forces, councils and courts. So as far as I'm concerned, the uniparty establishment and its authorities and quangos vehemently dislike the concept of the British people having babies. No, they much prefer that we keep suppressing the birth rate, as we have done since the mid-1970s, and import people instead. Even people that detest us and our beliefs and way of life, to the point that some wage a campaign of violence against us. A campaign of violence that is facilitated by the inaction of the authorities and with the complicity of the mainstream press, who keep spouting diversity is our strength and demanding our loyalty to the internationalist agenda, as our culture is dismantled and our money is redistributed to all and sundry. That is the uniparty establishment policy and aims. You only have to look at what they don't do to really address mass legal and illegal migration and the evident problems they bring with them to see that. Most people now realise that the odd talk of deportations and stiffer visa requirements, etc., from time to time, is never sustained and only lasts until the next news item knocks it off the immediate agenda. Oh, and when Nigel Farage says Lucy Connolly should not be in prison, the ensuing lefty meltdown tells you all you need to know about them. It's just a pity that Farage can't say the same sort of thing about Tommy Robinson. Now, he doesn't have to gush. He could just question the legitimacy of locking Tommy up in that manner. Anyway, it gets even worse for the uniparty. Farage is also talking about shock, horror, wait for it, scrapping net zero. Oh, the heresy of it, wails the left. Nigel Farage is definitely living rent-free in these people's heads, isn't he? And the green grifters that milk the net zero subsidies are also in there, claiming energy bills will rise if net zero is halted, while overseeing the huge recent energy price rises that keep going up the more green energy that is imposed on the country. Go figure. And then Farage piles on the unrelenting pressure by applying common sense and questioning the merits of that devilish work called Diversity, Equity and Inclusion, DEI. The voters now realise all this and are warming to the Reform UK family, community and country policy pledges. So Starmer is up north to tell everyone that Farage will bankrupt the nation, as his government U-turns with abandon, costing us oodles of money with every touch of the handbrake. After 14 years of Tory mismanagement, we now have had a year of Labour-enforced UK ruination, with more and more MPs filtering through the doors of Parliament with policies in mind that in no way, shape or form benefit the UK, in ways that would be far worse than Starmer's Chagos giveaway and his Brexit-busting UK sovereignty and armed forces handover to Brussels. The situation the UK is in right now, today, is due totally to the decisions made by Tory, Labour and coalition governments over the last countless decades. Nigel Farage, who has 4 other Reform UK MPs with him, has never, ever had any control over the levers of national power. Only the Tories and Labour with a touch of Lib Dem have ever had that control. This mess is a mess of their policies, not those of Reform UK or of Nigel Farage. Let's put the blame squarely where it belongs. Especially when you consider that the voters have been sending all those parties clear messages about the direction they want the country to go in, especially where mass inward migration is concerned. And all they get from our politicians is, "We know better," and the internationalist response that we need more and more newcomers. Something that we're expected to just unquestioningly accept. But the voters have had enough of this enforced tolerance. They are sick of the endless lies of politicians. And the politicians' best argument is that Farage and Reform UK will be worse than they are. Yes, that's the sum total of their argument. "Just leave it to us to wreck the country in our own way," they wail and moan. Yes, they don't need anyone's help to ruin the UK, do they? The people of this country have grown weary of being expected to tolerate those amongst us who wish to fleece us or worse. The people of the UK want their lives made better by the people they elect to do it. And right now they are flocking to Reform UK to get it done. Finally, please like, subscribe and comment below, and a big shout out to our Patreon supporters, and thank you for watching.